Many people talk about men and women, but very wenage stop to ask whether what they're claiming is even true. Today, we're breaking down a viral statement that has reached hundreds of thousands of people. And we're going to look at what's real and what's simply a narrative built on shaky ground. I'm Lady Saphira, and before we dive in, if you appreciate clear thinking, fairness between men and women, and content that actually uses facts instead of manipulation, please support the channel by liking this video and subscribing. It helps more than you think. But on the other hand, the man in your bed betrays you while you sleep. So now, we're actually pitting dogs against men? Seriously? To portray the woman as the disadvantaged one, they're now apparently using dogs against men. Personally, this video left me confused. That's why I want to hear your opinion. I genuinely want to understand what this does to you and how it lands with you. 360,000 people have seen this TikTok by Dominic, and many have liked it. We're going to watch it together. I'll pause again and again, and at the end I'll show you why this entire narrative is distorted and does not do men justice. A man sleeps better next to a woman, and a woman sleeps better next to a dog. This isn't a joke. I'm telling you, this is reality. Reality? No, it isn't. I fact-checked it. We'll get to that in a minute. First, let's continue listening to him. Why? Because a man finds peace next to a woman. His nervous system can calm down. He can relax. He feels closeness, warmth, and above all, a sense of safety. And now comes the twist. A woman supposedly feels the exact opposite with him. Restlessness, insecurity, and the feeling of not being safe next to him at night. He describes men and women as complete opposites. So the man finds security with the woman. The woman, on the other hand, supposedly finds nothing but insecurity with the man and even feels unsafe next to him at night. What kind of statement is this supposed to be? Which women, exactly? How can anyone make such a blanket statement? And why would you even be with someone if you don't feel safe next to them at night? How can a man generalize about his own group in such a degrading way? Because it is degrading. There is nothing flattering about not feeling safe next to your man. But it gets worse. A dog keeps watch, a dog protects. A dog guards you while you sleep. But a man betrays you while you sleep. What exactly is he trying to say here? Yes, he glorifies the dog. Pablo certainly wouldn't mind. And yes, dogs are wonderful and amazing. I love mine. But on the other hand, he claims the man in your bed betrays you while you sleep. This TikTok creates a completely false contrast. The perfect, loyal dog on one side, and the insecure, unreliable man on the other. So we're now playing dogs against men? Seriously, gentlemen? With such representatives of your gender, good night. And that, exactly that, is the tragedy of our time. Many women feel safer next to an animal than next to a man who is actually supposed to be their rock. Honestly, this isn't romance. It's a complete embarrassment. When a woman says she sleeps better next to her dog than next to you, she hasn't just taken your spot in bed. She has taken away her trust. And without that, you're not a partner. You're just someone lying next to her. He turns personal sleep preferences into a universal social statement and presents it as drama. But his claim is scientifically unsound. I'll show you why. Where he got this idea from, I don't know. He doesn't cite any sources, but he sure did get a lot of likes. Especially on social media, these kinds of sentences spread fast because they're provocative and because any blame placed on men performs very well. He probably read it somewhere in the media. There are dozens of headlines that say, "Study, women sleep better with dogs than with men." "Better a dog in bed than a man." These articles all cite the same scientific study. This study has been quoted again and again for years, and the reason the claim became so popular is simply that there are problems with sleeping together: snoring, movement, lack of space. All of these can impair the partner's sleep. That's well researched, but his claim does not fall into that category. I looked at the original source. The basis of this "women sleep better with dogs than with men" claim comes from a 2018 study by Christy Hoffman. She conducted an online survey of 962 women in the U.S., asking whether they shared their bed with a pet or a person and how they subjectively rated their sleep and sense of security. The result: compared to human bed partners, dogs sleeping in their owner's bed were perceived as less disruptive and associated with stronger feelings of comfort and security. First important point: the study is based on subjective perceptions. As far as one can tell, the study did not objectively measure whether these women actually slept better. No sleep labs, no EEG measurements, no deep sleep data. It literally says online survey data. So this is a simple online self-report, not a laboratory study, meaning it only shows how these 960 women felt, not scientific proof. And it certainly cannot be generalized to all women. Yet he claims, a woman sleeps better next to a dog. That's reality. Second point: the researchers found no strong correlation between pet ownership status or specific bed-sharing conditions and sleep quality. So neither pet ownership nor the exact way the bed was shared had a strong overall impact on sleep. That already weakens the idea that dogs automatically lead to better sleep. Number 3, regarding the causes, everything is speculative. It is possible that maybe the dog actually creates a stronger sense of security. I feel that myself with my own dog. When I know he's lying somewhere, that he'll immediately hear strange noises and instantly bark or growl. But I don't see that in opposition to a man. I feel safe and protected by both. And perhaps women with dogs are simply more structured in general, and therefore sleep better because regular walking routines stabilize their daily rhythm. That's definitely the case for me. The researcher also mentions dog owners had earlier bedtimes and wake-up times than people who owned cats but no dogs. That could influence sleep rhythm. Or women might simply perceive the dog as less disturbing because it doesn't snore or move as much as a human next to them. All of these are possible explanations, but none of them are proven reality by this study, and there's more. Number 4, the study also does not support this statement. A woman finds the exact opposite with him: restlessness, insecurity, and the feeling of not being safe next to him at night. A dog may subjectively make these surveyed women feel more secure, but the study does not say that these women do not feel secure or protected next to their partners at night. There is no other investigation or study that proves such a claim either. Number 5. Not in a single part of the abstract, the summary of the results, does the word men appear. It always says human partners. Sure, that's nitpicky, because in most cases a woman's partner is a man. There are far more heterosexual relationships than other types, but if one wants to be precise as a journalist, then one should also report it precisely. Even Z, the youth magazine of Die Zeit, refers to the study and writes correctly, "Women report that their dogs disturb them less than a human partner," meaning not men, but people. And as we know, those can also be people with uteruses, And look, here the distortion becomes even clearer. The Mayo Clinic conducted a study in 2017 in which dog owners and their dogs wore movement trackers to objectively measure sleep. The result? If the dog sleeps in the bedroom, but not directly in the bed, sleep quality is usually completely fine. But if the dog sleeps in the bed, interruptions happen more often, and sleep quality drops slightly. And now it becomes even clearer. A recent 2024 study examined how sharing a bed with pets affects the sleep of adults, men and women, and whether pets might even have a stress-reducing effect. The result: people who sleep with their pet in the bed have worse average sleep quality and a higher likelihood of insomnia. The negative effects were especially linked to dogs, not cats. And I know why. Yes. And a stress-reducing effect could not be confirmed. So in other words, neither do dogs automatically make sleep better, nor do men automatically make sleep worse. Sleep quality depends on many factors: sleep environment, stress, physical health, and even things like mattress type or room temperature. Sleep is complex. To turn this into a men versus women issue is once again unfortunate. Many people don't even bother to look up the original source, because if they did, they would immediately see that the claim isn't true. They take a strongly simplified and even distorted headline, twist it until it fits their narrative, the man as a source of restlessness and insecurity, and then sell it as reality. As if every man lying in bed at night were a potential risk factor for women. And yes, there are certainly women who sleep next to their partner and do not feel safe. But then you have the wrong partner. And that is not a men problem, nor is it a societal problem. I find such statements really sad. This is not education. It does not promote understanding. On the contrary, it only fuels conflict between the genders. Or am I wrong?